9 Most Haunted Water Bodies in the World. Saco River, Maine. Sure, the Saco River can be a great place for tourists to go tubing, but you might not want to go after you find out about its rumored curse. As the legend goes, around the year 1675, a group of drunken English sailors had crossed paths with none other than the chief of the Saco tribe as well as his family. The sailors had callously thrown the baby straight in the river to see if he would be able to swim, but sadly, the baby passed away a few days later. To enact revenge, the chief immediately put a curse on the Saco River that at least 3 white people would drown in it every year. Whether or not that body count has held up, the loss of the child did happen and likely led to further bloodshed in the years following. Bride's Pool, Hong Kong. The Bride's Pool, which is a natural pool created by boulders along with a waterfall that adjoins it in Hong Kong, is said to have gotten the name simply because a bride fell into the water and sadly drowned on the way to her wedding. If that's not chilling enough, some people have even reported seeing a woman dressed in a red cheong sam, which is a traditional Asian wedding dress, busy brushing her hair right near the majestic waters. White Rock Lake, Texas. It has been said that Dallas's White Rock Lake happens to be haunted by a young woman dressed in a soaking wet evening dress. According to reports, the girl tells people that she had been involved in a boating accident and needed to get to an address that was located on Gaston Avenue. When she gets into the car's back seat, she just disappears, as stated by a few reports. These encounters have actually been reported off and on ever since 1964, although no one really knows who this woman is or whether there really was a woman in an evening dress who drowned at this place. Lake Superior, Wisconsin. In 1985, nearly a decade after the SS Edmund Fitzgerald had sunk 500 feet to the bottom of Lake Superior, and all 29 men on board were lost, it was reportedly spotted sailing right on Lake Superior by a commercial crew. According to a report, there's quite a perfectly reasonable explanation involving mist and a lighthouse. Still, there are those who strongly believe that the Edmund Fitzgerald will certainly continue to sail on as a ghost ship in the icy waters of the lake that once took it. Changi Beach, Singapore. At the time of Japan's occupation of Singapore during World War II in 1942, tens of thousands of Chinese men suspected of having any anti-Japanese sentiments had been forced into the waters of Changi Beach and instantly machine-gunned en masse. It's said that all the ghosts of these executed men still remain trapped on the shores, screaming and crying as they suffer the same terrible fate over and over again. Devil's Pool, Australia. Devil's Pool happens to be a natural pool that was created by the surrounding boulders and a waterfall that directly feeds it, and as beautiful as it looks, people say that it's cursed. According to local legend, Oalana, an Aboriginal woman, had drowned herself in the pool right after being separated from her true love. Still searching for him today, she continues to lure young men to their demise in the green waters. According to reports, at least 16 young men have lost their lives there in the past 50 years. Truk Lagoon, Micronesia. If shipwrecks make your spine tingle, then you should look no further than the Truk Lagoon in Micronesia. This happens to be where the wreckage of around 40 Japanese ships and 25 American aircrafts that reportedly went down in the waters lay. They had gone down during Operation Hailstone, which was the ill-fated World War II battle. The underwater scene is even described as a huge ship graveyard. Photos of the wreckage are incredibly chilling and also a haunting reminder of all the lives that had been lost in that single battle alone. Lower Yellowstone Falls, Wyoming. In 1870, a group of Native Americans had stolen pack horses from a group of about 5 militiamen and their guide in the night not too far from the area now known as Lower Yellowstone Falls in Wyoming. When they woke up, the men immediately chased and finally caught up with the Native Americans as they attempted to cross the treacherous falls. During all the fighting, the Native Americans' makeshift raft had sunk, and they were instantly swept over the falls and drowned. Today, those who stand on the platform at the falls swear that they hear the eerie chant of all the brave Native American warriors. And the river water is said to even turn red on occasion. Manchic Swamp. According to a local legend, Julia Brown, once a practicing voodoo priestess, would sit on her front porch, which was near the Macaque Swamp, and would reportedly sing, "One day I'm going to leave, and I'm going to take all of you with me." That curse had allegedly turned out to be true. This is because, on the day of Brown's funeral back in 1915, a Category 4 hurricane had torn through the area, causing more than hundreds of drowning demises. These days, people even say that Brown can be heard eerily cackling on the shores of the swamp.